I'm just sharing the link on Facebook. I've done that now. Let's get Skype open. Morning, Ramon. Oh, it's so funny. On Thursday, Ramon said to me, have you got a cold or something? I was like, eh? What's he talking about? And then I've been really snotty all weekend. Oh, I didn't realise. I had a cold coming, or a blocked nose coming. We are good to go. Lips are really dry this morning. Hopefully there's no chipmunk. There's no chipmunk sound today. There was a problem last week, on Thursday, on the last stream. Oh, get some more hot water. Where the chipmunk? Oh, it's on the I think our summer is over. I think it's going to be autumn now. It's on the turn. So I need to keep warm. We're the chipmunks. So good morning and welcome to the Sunday stream. I do these streams every Sunday, apart from one a month, at 10:30 a.m. and every Thursday at 8:30 p.m. On this YouTube channel. So to watch live, you have to join in at those times. And that's UK time, if I didn't say that already. And you can ask questions during the stream, if you're watching live, of course. And you ask questions through Skype. So friend me on Skype to ask questions. And you can write them, or you can ring in and talk to me on the stream. That's all written below this video in the box. My websites, my links and contact information. It's all written below. So welcome. Is the volume okay? Let me just check with someone whether the volume's okay. What is a chipmunk? I can't find a sensible translation. Oh, good question. What is a chipmunk? It's an animal. It's an animal. And there was a cartoon about it when I was growing up called The Chipmunks. Yeah. What a first question for the stream. What is a chipmunk? Great, thank you. The sound is great, thank you. So I haven't given this stream a title, a topic title, like I often do, because I couldn't think of one. Nothing was coming to label the stream as. So I'll just talk about anything. It just feels like what a joy and what a privilege to speak about this. What a privilege to and a joy to share what I am, to share and be open and vulnerable of what I am. I think it's just so beautiful. I was listening to a speaker yesterday evening, and they, I won't say who it is, but and they, I like them actually. I do like them. I like how they have a very brilliant mind, a very brilliant mind, and are able to hold things as they're describing things. They're able to hold the framework of the subject, and then come back to the point. And then I love that mind. This mind doesn't seem to have that skill. but so yeah, I really enjoyed listening to them and how they spoke. There was a joy and a pleasure in it. But I also felt that it was a bit dry. Like, it was a bit dry. Like, the juice wasn't in it. The juice wasn't in it. Or what I would call juice. Or the joy wasn't in it. Doesn't mean it's wrong or bad. It's just the way that what I resonate with. I appreciate the intellectual part. I appreciate the ability to explain this in a very clear and organized manner. But I love the joy. I love the love. So I don't really know what kind of humans this human will attract. I have no idea what kind of listeners I will attract with my lack of my lack of my lack of intellectual clarity. I don't know. But I just love that I get to express it. If there's resonance with that, then beautiful, really beautiful. If there's not, then there's not. And that's okay too. So, having said all that, for those who might be new to listening to me, I'll try to explain what I talk about. So, what do I talk about? I talk about this joy, this beauty, this freedom. I talk about the end of that contraction, the end of a dream of suffering. That's what I talk about. The end of that contracted reality of you. The end of that appearance of a someone, of a human, being who you are. The end of this energy that's claiming the human to be who it is. The end of the one who's owning and wearing the human, wearing the character as me. This is me. This is who I am. I am independent and I am a separate entity. I am moving through life, making my life work. This is me. This is who I am. I talk about the end of that. The end of that reality, the end of that dream. I talk about what's really experiencing this isn't that person, isn't that human. So it's the dropping of that claiming energy, the dropping of that owning energy that feels it exists as a reality. And then there is this emptiness expressing itself as fullness. This nothing expressing itself as everything. This is what I talk about. So in that, the person comes and tries to understand this, tries to take this on as something for it. And in that, this role of speaker is to continuously point to this freedom, continuously point beyond that dream of someone. Continuously point to where the freedom is, where the love is. To continuously starve that seeker, to continuously kill that seeker, to continuously deny that seeker as a reality. And that obviously isn't very pleasant for the person. They will fight, there will be all these different reactions to it. But this isn't a position that this body is taking. It's not an opinion that I have. It isn't that I, or this Rebekah character, is trying to teach you anything or trying to deny you something. It's not a personal thing at all. It's just the way this is. Life won't allow that lie, that contraction to exist. That's the point of this message, is to express the actual reality, which is not bound to anyone, not limited to anything. And this is love. This is love. It may not feel like that when you're losing the grounding, but this is love, because there's no freedom found in that human reality, that separate person reality. There's no freedom found in that. No matter what you think you know about this, it's not freedom. And so this is compassion. Not compassion to you as a person, but it's ultimate compassion. Because this is where the freedom lies. Not in that personal reality. The personal reality is the suffering. No matter how much highs and pleasure you manage to attain and experience, that reality is suffering, because you can't keep hold of those pleasures, those high experiences. So this is the ultimate compassion. And it's not personal. My nose is all blocked. I had a nostril thingy, like an albus oil stick, but I've lost it. I lost it. I had it yesterday, but it's gone. I think it was in my bag, but I can't find it. This bag needs cleaning. No, I can't find it. I'm just trying to blow my nose. It feels dry, but it feels like it's... There's nothing there, but it's like it's deep in there or something, like it's back here. I don't know. I'm going in the sauna later, the steam room. That will help to clear it, I think. So this is freedom. This is the freedom. Oh, how can I express that in any other way? This is it. This is the freedom. What is happening? Life is the freedom. That this is appearing is the freedom. That this is the freedom. It's not happening to you. It's not happening around you. It's just happening. Where is this one? Where is this center position? Where is this standing place that you are? When it is seen, investigated and seen, that this is happening and there is no center place. There is no somebody looking, experiencing this. This is all happening in freedom. It is freedom and boundlessness. Appearing as apparent limitation, appearing as apparent form, appearing as apparent chair, an apparent cup, an apparent earrings, and an apparent ring, and an apparent jumper, and an apparent hair, and an apparent screen. This is just life. It's empty, but it's appearing as full as everything. So what are you looking for? What is the problem? That isn't to say ignore, like use that question to ignore what you're looking for, what the problem is. You have to explore what the problem is. What is the body saying is wrong? What is the mind saying is wrong? Don't cover that up and say, oh, there is no problem then, and this is it then. What is going on? You can cover it up for a while, but actually it's going to be there waiting. It has to be unpicked and uncovered and expose this illusion. Who you think you are. Okay, so you can ask questions now. I'm feeling too blocked to keep talking, sorry. I've lost that stick thing. It's so annoying. I found it and I've lost it again. Sound is great, thank you. Okay. Ba-ba-ba. The TD. I was listening to Tony Parsons yesterday, and for a brief second, I'm not sure what happened, but I felt transparent. A huge wave of panic came over me after, and I've been scrambling ever since. I'm terrified of being here and not being here. Yeah. 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 That's the conundrum for the person. It's got fear of being here and fear of not being here. What to do? Yeah. It's scary for the person. The end of you. What will happen to you if you're not here? You've taken on a role that was never yours. This role of I am the one in charge. I'm protecting me. I'm the provider. I'm the protector. It's my responsibility to find happiness, to find a safe place to rest my head. I have to protect myself from getting hurt, from getting killed. It's raining here. It started to rain. Of course it's scary. But that one is not a reality. That one is not true. Like it self-imposed itself on the actual experience. It's not true. Like a layer of cling film or something. If you know what that is. I think they call it saran wrap or something in America. Saran wrap. Oh, yeah. It's not true anyway. It's not true. That's the illusion. That you existed as someone. That someone is you. But that fear has to come up. It has to come up. Like everything has to come up. The reason why the person's become so strong and so intense is because it's been keeping things in, covering things, suppressing things, keeping it in. So it all has to come up. And what happens in this message, this awakening, I have no idea how, but it seems to, in hearing this, like a trust begins, a trust begins, and therefore there can be a relaxing into this, a relaxing. Slowly, a relaxing happens. And then in that, all this stuff can come up. As you begin to hear this message, like there's a relaxing into it. It's still seeking, going out into time, but it seems to be gradually relaxing. Like you've been caught in something, in non-duality, you get caught in it, and then like a fisherman throwing a net or something, and you get caught up in it because there's an attraction and a resonance to it, and then you're caught in the net, and then you can't get out, and then slowly there's a relaxing. There could be some fighting to try and get out of the net, but even when that's happening, there's still, on some level, there's a relaxing into this. What am I saying? What was the question? Yes, so a trust in what? A trust in what? Just a trust in life, in this, whatever you want to call it. But when I speak, I'm not speaking to you. Don't get caught up in what I'm saying. It's not for you. But still, it happens. Think of it as a song. I'm just singing something, describing something. It doesn't matter what I'm saying, what the words are saying, what I'm meaning. And that sounds strange. We're used to having meaning and understanding things in a logical way. And that's useful. But the way that I speak is not so much like that. If you need that, then there are speakers who do speak more logical. So the way that I speak is not logical. I mean, maybe parts of it is, but it's not in what I'm saying. It's really not in what I'm saying. And that will be heard at some point. And you'll throw all the language out, all the meaning and understanding out. You'll see through it. Not to say it's wrong or necessary. It is necessary to understand this to a point, but that's never where the freedom is at. But all of this helps to relax the human, to relax that seeking. Because what is being spoken about is this direct experience of what is happening. But while there's a you there, there's a looking in time, and looking in meaning, and looking in thought, understanding, in concepts. That's the way it is. And it seems that gradually, that is picked apart. So in response to your question, just everything has to come up, everything has to come out, and it's perfect. This is perfect. DD. So what felt like me pushing away the sense of panic at the time was just happening. Yeah, it was just happening. Everything is just happening. It feels as if what you're asking is, was it me? Is it me that was pushing the panic all away? Nothing's coming to speak of, really. I prefer to actually work with people. I could just say no, it's just happening, but it's just not. I don't know. I love doing these online things. It's really easy, it's comfortable. I'm comfortable. I'm at home. Not a lot of other humans around, which I like. I like doing these online, and they're free, which is great. But I just feel like, I don't know, you have to work with the person. You have to work with the other human. You can't just like message back and forth, and I mean, you can to an extent, but I just I like to go deep and like explore like together. But yeah, so yeah, it's just happening, that pushing away. What you want to hear is there isn't anybody. It's just happened. It's not me. Sorry, nothing's coming. Maybe because I don't know you that well. I haven't spoken to you before, I don't believe. So I don't know. Obviously it's caused some kind of issue in you, some kind of discomfort, some kind of, problem in you. So if it was just a happening, it wouldn't have caused any kind of issue or any kind of, problem for you. but it has. So we need to look at what the problem is. Why is this panic and this pushing away of panic an issue? What has gotten stuck, or what is sticking? If it was merely a happening, it would have happened and gone. Why is it an issue? Just a feeling of failure. Feeling of failure. I'll let her write the whole question. She's still writing. Oh, it's raining. I hate to go out in the rain. I went to go swimming into the health suite, but I don't know now whether I'll go or not. I like being at home when it's raining. I love to hear the rain, but from a safe, dry place rather than out in the rain. So there's not many questions. Has Dee Dee finished writing her question? Oh, maybe that's it. Just a feeling of failure. Oh. Yeah, I don't mind messaging. You can do either. You can either ring in now or ring privately and book a session, or it's up to you. Oh, hang on. Let me just set my camera up.
Hello.
Hi. Can you hear me?
Maybe. Yeah. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah. I have a separate camera for Skype. You see, I have to set it up separately. Sorry, I didn't do it beforehand.
Can you see me as well?
No, I can't see you. It's just a picture of you. If it's you, I don't know if it's you. There's a picture.
Yeah, it's a really old picture. I haven't used Skype in a while, so I'm not sure where the video.
Oh,
thing.
So you go up to. Oh. Hang on. should be an image, like an icon of a camera, a microphone.
Oh, okay.
At the bottom of the screen.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
it.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi.
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 Yeah, nice to see you.
Yeah, you too.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I was just scared of like talking directly to you.
Yeah.
It's a bit intimidating.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really, it can be really hard.
I guess I'm just confused. Like, how can stuff like that happen? And then immediately afterwards, like, I'm just completely lost. And like, my mom messages me and I freak out. And then like, you know, like, I don't understand like how to function anymore. Do you know what I mean?
No, sorry, I wasn't listening to you. You look really pretty. You look really pretty. I was looking at your face. I've met you before, so I didn't know what you look like, but you look very pretty. Sorry, go on, say it again.
Thank you.
Sorry.
So you didn't hear what I said?
No, I didn't. Sorry.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I guess it's just very confusing, like the back and forth limbo of it.
Yeah.
Like having moments like that where I don't know, like what to say about that, honestly. And then panicking and feeling like I'm choosing to like go back into all of this and worry about petty things. I guess that's just where the feeling of failure comes in. Like like somehow I'm rejecting, like it's my choice.
Yeah. Well, like you had it and then you've lost it in some way and you failed because you haven't managed to maintain this stillness, this calm kind of place.
Yeah.
That sort of thing.
Yeah. And just a lot of fear and a lot of fear and panic and feeling like the body can't handle that, like I'm gonna like die, like and I don't know if that's just the way it is, like I need to be like ready for that, and I'm not even sure how to ready myself for that, you know.
Can't, no. But
or it just happens. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a natural part of this. It is a natural part that happens. Because you've just been used to you being in charge of things, you being the one, you being a reality, you being unquestioned as being the reality, you know. So this is going to obviously unsettle that sense of you.
Yeah.
So it's not a problem. It's not wrong or not a failure for being panicked or feeling afraid. It's totally natural. It's totally okay. It's totally okay. Because that was never a truth. It's never who's here. It's never been a reality. It's not true.
Yeah. I don't believe that for some reason. Yeah. I don't believe it. Like what you're saying, like I get glimpses of like, oh, like this seems like super natural, and then I'm like, no, this is too good to be true. Like I can't go there.
It is too good to be true, but it is. It is the reality. It is the reality. And no, the mind questions it. It can't comprehend this. It thinks it's in charge, and it's not. It's been a dream playing out. It's been a dream playing out. This is freedom. This is freedom, and it's free. And we're so used to no, it can't be too simple and too easy. It can't be. What will I do if it's too simple? It can't stand this. And it wants to cause problems. And what about this? What about that? What about? Because it can't stand this freedom, this isness. That it isn't needed. It's not being a reality. It's not true. It's the loss of that life that's been built up and invested in.
But I'm so scared of losing that.
Yeah.
Like absolutely terrified.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, and especially because like at this point in my life, I just got married and like all this stuff, and I feel like, oh, like I was just starting, and it's like, oh, all of this is unreal and you don't exist. It's like I don't know what to do with that.
Yeah. So, what are you looking for?
I want to be comfortable in my own skin. And I don't want to be running around anymore. I'm so tired of questioning everything and being thrown off by the most little things, and I'm so scared of death, like physical or even this. Like I had no idea I was signing up for this when I started this whole thing. Wasn't the plan. I thought I was just gonna like learn how to relax and become spiritual and sort of but all of that, like I don't know, every time I feel like I've achieved something, I just get like slapped in the face with it. And I'm scared of this constant slapping. I'm like, how far is this gonna go? Like, can I like? And apparently, it's gonna go like all the way. I don't know, and I don't know what that means. So there's just like so much anxiety about like both directions or whatever. I don't know how to. Yeah.
There's no way to go back and get out. You're already in, and you can't. This fear of going forward and going back. So you're like,
yeah. And also fear of like not being able to deal with people at the moment, because I just feel so like completely like vulnerable. And I went through the phase of like, oh, I'm spiritual and I'm gonna be nice to everyone, and that just backfired completely, and now I also try to work on like the person and like self-esteem stuff and powerlessness and like all these things. So, but then I feel like is all this like I don't know what I'm doing anymore. Basically, I don't know if like I
It's scary. It can be scary to be lost. Basically, you're lost. Before you thought you knew who you were, what was going on, where you were, what you were working towards, and then now it's all been thrown into the air, and you're not sure about anything anymore. That is scary. Yeah. But that feels really vulnerable. Really vulnerable. And I don't want to cover that up. I think it's beautiful, that vulnerability of not knowing where you are, of being lost. Of not having a position.
I honestly, like, I can feel how freeing, like, that is, but in my practical everyday, like, when stuff happens, I'm just completely thrown off, and I don't, like, there's like no confidence, or yeah.
I'm not sure what you mean by that. What do you mean there's no confidence?
Like, I see how beautiful it could be to just be completely vulnerable. Like, I see there's like beauty in that. But I feel like I have to translate that into some sort of practicality of like how to deal with people.
Yeah.
Because that's where like I struggle. I know like that's everyone's struggle dealing with people.
Yeah. So you think if there's just vulnerability of not knowing, that there wouldn't be action, there wouldn't be a natural action or a natural speaking that happens?
Yeah,
So the body,
like I'm always there. I feel like I'm like I feel like I trick myself sometimes, like into thinking that like, oh, I'm not there, but I'm really like. There's all these kinds of games going on, and I just don't know what's what.
yeah. But
Anymore.
That's all in the mind. That's all in thought. Is it not? Games of I'm there, I'm not there. That's all in thought. Is it not?
Yeah, thoughts and feelings and yeah, thoughts and feelings and discomfort. I feel like they're all like one package.
Yeah. But the thoughts are saying something. The thoughts are saying I'm there, I'm not there, and all these kind of games are being played.
Yeah.
I wouldn't imagine the feelings will be saying I'm there, I'm not there. They're just what they are, whereas thoughts are saying this and saying that and causing confusion. The emotions aren't. The emotions are just what they are: anger, sadness, fear. The thoughts that go with that appear with that, saying this, saying that, playing games. These are thoughts. These are ideas. And neither of them are true. Neither side of them, the back and forth, neither of them are true. The confusion only exists in thought. The body naturally responds. The body naturally behaves. And in that, if there's fear, there's fear. And there's a response. There's an action taken to move away or to stay, whatever the action is.
I guess I'm I don't know. I'm stuck in this place where I feel like if I'm angry or if I so for example, like I'm a very passive personality, and like I when I stand up for myself, which is something I'm like trying to do, like teach myself to do at the moment, I feel weird afterwards. And so like when I feel anything negative, I just automatically feel like I'm failing, and then and then I guess thoughts kick in with this like I'm just confused when it comes to like working on the person and like the feelings and all this stuff, and then what you're talking about.
Well, what I'm talking about is this vulnerability, is this nakedness of what is happening. What is happening is fresh, it's raw, it's just happening. Whether that be emotions, whether it be thoughts, whether it be reactions. This is where the freedom is, in what's happening, in this vulnerability, in this not knowing, in this innocence of life appearing as it is. And in that appears a human with all its particular flavors and patterns. When this shift happens, this dropping of this claiming energy happens, then the human is then free. The human patterns, the human ways of being are free to be as they are, and they will become clearer in some way. They're clearer, they're easier, they're just free to be what they are, and then naturally they get like cleared up in some way. Not to be perfect, but just they become clear. They're no longer seeking in it. It's just a natural flow of that human. But all this confusion is to do with the misidentification. This sense of you being a limited entity, of you existing. This sense of you existing is the cause of all the suffering. And this is a coming back, not you coming back, but coming back to that innocence, which is right here, that vulnerability, which is right here. That nakedness, which is looking and speaking. It's right here. It can't not be.
So there's nothing that you did to stabilize or do anything in this. It like
Well, that what I'm talking about doesn't need to be stabilized. It already is. It's this energy that seems to go through this being there, not being there, contracted, not contracted. This is the change that happens. And it seems to be a gradual thing that happens. The lessening of this contraction, the seeing of this, how the seeking plays out in the human. The clarity comes with it. But what I'm talking about doesn't need to be stabilized or cleaned up. It already is immaculate. It never moves. It never changes. In it appears changefulness. In it appears thoughts and emotions and all these different things. But they are never the experiencer. They're constantly changing, constantly moving. If you believe, if there's a sense of belief that you will find permanent, you will find that stability in form, in thought, in understanding, that's where the error lies. You will never find it in understanding this. You won't find it in thoughts. You won't find it in stabilizing the emotions or stabilizing the thinking. That happens naturally, but you won't find it in that. That's a byproduct. So this vulnerability is scary because you can't exist in it. It's the end of you. You can only exist in time. You can only exist in thought. That land of thought, of me. and my life and what's happening to me and what's going on here, and you can only exist in that. That energy loves that. It can only live in that. This nakedness of this moment of what's happening, it can't exist in. And that's the issue for the person.
So it's not like some sort of like apocalyptic event or...
I don't know what you mean by that. Like, it depends. It depends who you speak to about it, I guess. Some will say it's some big. It depends who you speak to. But to hold that as a reality, to wait for some event to happen, people working towards an event happening is not what's being spoken about. That's living in time, in that timeline it again of you. This is not for you, it's not for the person. It's the end of the person, it's the end of you. And that's the struggle, the seeming struggle of you wanting to live and exist.
And have ambition and stuff.
Well, the body naturally wants to do things and be creative and do things. That can happen without there being a sense of someone. That's part of the human being alive. The human's a machine that likes things and moves towards pleasure, and it's an animal. The difference is when that seeking energy is in it, it's trying to find fulfillment through the human's natural interests and natural passions, and you'll never find it. That energy can't find fulfillment through anything. So it's the end of that seeking energy that drops. It's the discovery that fulfillment is this. Fulfillment is what you are. Not as a person, but what this is. Total fulfillment, total completion. Happening. What you long for is this. This nakedness, this vulnerability, you long for this. It's not in time. It's right here. It's always been here.
Like, even when I'm talking to you now, I feel like a fakeness in me.
Yeah. Because that's not who you are. That human isn't who you are. That's so beautiful. You've learned to pretend that we're this separate person in here in the body, and it's not true. It's not true. So it does feel fake that you're pretending, because it's not true.
I think I've felt that my whole life, actually.
Yeah.
I always thought that there was something wrong there. I just didn't know what that was.
Yeah.
So that's normal. Like, because so that's that.
What's what? Sorry.
Like this, like for example, like the feeling of fakeness and like all of that is just there. Like that's it. Like and like seeing that and
this is it. This is it. This is it. No matter what thoughts come and appear to say this and say that, this is always it. Not what the thoughts are saying. But it has to happen. This seeming contraction and opening and has to just play out until it just happens.
My mind keeps like saying that all of this is good and well until like shit hits the fan.
Yeah. Oh, it's so beautiful. I'm glad you called in.
Yeah, I'm really glad I called too. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you, Didi.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, that was really nice. Okay, so thank you for joining. It's been a lovely satsang. I'm back on Thursday at 8:30 p.m. I'm not here next Sunday, by the way. I've just remembered I'm not here next Sunday, but I'm here on Thursday. So I'll remind you on Thursday that I'm not here on Sunday. Okay, have a great week. Bye.